Hello, and welcome to this month's astrological forecast. We are in Cancer season, so the sun just entered the sign of Cancer. And within this season, we have a lot of exciting shifts happening. So, namely, Jupiter will be changing signs. It, for the last year, has been in Cancer, but now it's going to be shifting into Leo, and Jupiter's transit is about 1 year. And so that's exciting. We also, drum roll please, have a Mercury retrograde happening. So Mercury retrogrades are just a great time to be revisiting things, kind of rethinking things, rehashing things. It's not always bad. So if you've ever thought that Mercury retrogrades suck, I have information to share with you. We also have a new moon in Cancer, which means we have a full moon in Capricorn. And then we also have a few cool planetary conjunctions happening that are around interesting dates, especially for the US. And they also can bring up a lot of unexpected twists because Uranus is involved. So for this month's forecast, I will be going through all the transits, what to expect with a few examples, and then one of my people in my close group, my private broadcast channel, I'm going to be reading their chart based on all of this lovely information. So the sun will be in Cancer from June 21st through July 22nd. And the big themes around Cancer have to do with like home and mothering, whether that is for ourselves or other people. So you may find yourself wanting to be home a little bit more or wanting to spend time with those relationships in your life that just feel especially nourishing and nurturing to you. It could also be a time where you're just examining security and like what makes you truly feel safe. Getting into transits, on June 25th, the sun will square Neptune in Aries. And when this happens, if you think of the sun as like a big energy ball of life force, and you think of Neptune as like this zone of disillusionment and confusion and lack of clarity, sometimes a sun square Neptune can kind of feel or elicit the feelings of self-doubt, insecurity, sensitivity. And so I would just be aware around that date. Check out where Cancer is in your chart, check out where Aries is in your chart, and just notice how the themes surrounding those houses that hold Aries and Cancer will kind of maybe be heightened around this time. For me, I'm a Gemini rising, and that puts my Cancer ruling my second house, and Aries would be ruling my 11th house. So if you're a Gemini rising, this could resonate with you. But the 11th house sometimes has to do with like dreams or your social circles or friends. And the second house has to do with like self-worth, whether that's entrepreneurial or even just intrinsic. And so right now I'm in the season of revisiting a lot of themes related to that. And even so much as like, do I do this home project or do I hold off because I have a bigger dream down the pipeline coming? So I would just, if you are feeling sensitive around the 25th, just take a beat, don't take it personally, and make sure you're just examining the roots of like where those seeds of self-doubt or insecurity surrounding the themes of those houses could be coming up. On June 28th, we have Mars entering Gemini until August 11th. I'm quite excited for this because Taurus rules my 12th house, and having Mars transit your 12th house just like isn't ever super fun, but it also, for me personally, helped reveal a lot of shadows that were lurking there, and I did some really good shadow work. But with Mars and Gemini entering my first house, it's definitely about like putting yourself out there. Gemini is like a very active, very curious sign. And so when you put a planet like Mars there, who holds all the drive and energy and passion, it's a lot. And so as a whole, I would recommend everyone definitely double down on your nervous system care, whether that's grounding outside, whether that's like shaking, dancing, journaling, verbalizing to a friend, whatever it is that like kind of gets you recentered in who you are. I would just definitely be paying attention to that, especially Gemini risings, because we tend to run a little up here in our heads. And so if you can kind of ground that energy down and realize that you don't have to act on every single impulse that you're going to get until August 11th, then it might serve you well. On June 29th, we have Mercury retrograde beginning in the sign of Cancer, and this will last until July 23rd. On this same day, we have a full moon in Capricorn happening at the 8th degree. So breaking this down, Mercury retrograde in Cancer, like I said at the beginning of this video, kind of means reworking or rethinking or revisiting topics related to whatever sign the Mercury retrograde is happening in. So for me, another example, I have an Aries rising example at the end of this video, by the way, that I'll do like a whole chart breakdown. But for a Gemini rising like me, I'm reworking a lot of like, hey, like, how do I want to make money? Like, what in my job is making me money, and how do I want to like expand that, right? And so it's also interesting because my partner is also a Gemini rising, and he's had some like work changes and work schedule changes, and it's just always so fascinating for me to like see the connection between astrology and like real life. So yeah, definitely be checking on your Cancer ruled house and just see like if you're, you have Cancer in the 5th house, like you could be reworking and rethinking like how to express yourself, or like how to tap into your inner child, or how to nourish your inner child. If you have Cancer in the 11th house, it could be like, hey, like what friendships feel like really nourishing right now? Like, are there places that I could go to meet people to share my same interests in how I like to be nourished, like going to a different yoga studio, something like that. So this Mercury retrograde will last all the way through Cancer season until July 23rd. So not only is it Cancer season, but as you'll see later in the other transits I'll go over, there's this kind of like dance between the Sun and Mercury. And then with Jupiter leaving, it's kind of a really different feel than we had last year, because when a planet is not in the same sign, it kind of has a different feel to it. So just notice how this year and this Cancer season feels compared to last year. We've had a lot of outer planet changes, like I've mentioned in these forecasts before. And so just noting the difference can help inform you and help you become more educated on astrology. So we have that Mercury retrograde, and then we also have a full moon in Capricorn at the 8th degree. I would say if you are cardinal sign or cardinal sign heavy, or cardinal sign in your big 3, that means Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, Aries. If you have those kind of placements, just check what degree your placements are at, because the 8th degree for me, so Gemini risings will have Capricorn in their 8th house. And so it's a very 8th house heavy lunation for me. A lot of release, a lot of like psychological release. But with the 8th degree, it's kind of like Scorpio. So kind of, I feel like with this full moon, like you're gonna need to go a little deeper than you usually go on full moons. That's just my take. Not everyone uses degree theory either, so like take what resonates, leave the rest. But for me especially, like I'm gonna be talking about a placement I have at the 5th degree in the 8th house, and this full moon would be conjunct that. So like I have Lilith, okay, Lilith in my 8th house, and this degree full moon will be conjunct Lilith, and I have just been wanting to express myself a lot more lately, and it might ruffle feathers, and that's literally what my Lilith placement speaks to. So there's more on Lilith coming. But yeah, it's cool to like not only look at the signs, but like look to how, if you have a lot of Cancer placements, like my daughter, bless her little Cancer stellium heart, has a whole stellium in Cancer, and it's great, but oh my God. So with her having this full moon kind of oppose all of her Cancer placements, like feelings, even more feelings, like she is someone, and maybe you like people with Cancer sign planets can resonate with this, but you may already notice that you're more sensitive around new or full moons. And I would definitely feel like this season, this Cancer season, especially will be a little bit more sensitive. But like we also won't have Jupiter there for long, so maybe there won't be as big of emotions. Time will tell. Getting into Jupiter on June 30th, right after that full moon, like the end of June is gonna feel like a completely different life. Like by July 1st, you'll be like, whoa. So June 30th, Jupiter will move into Leo until July 6th, 2027. Okay. This isn't like some little transit, this is a big one. So really pay attention. Like find your Cancer, find your Cancer, find where Cancer is in your chart. And I want you to look at the next sign, Leo. And I want you to just examine like what planets do I have there? What themes could be coming up? Um, for me, it will be my third house. Leo is all about this and writing. And I have my natal Mars in Leo, which makes me really competitive and really bubbly and like can't stop talking if you get me started. And so I'm really excited to see what happens for me personally because I have a really strong planet there, especially with all my Scorpio. I'm like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. And that's the cool thing about astrology too. And like what I love to kind of like preach, preach isn't a great word. What I like to say is just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's really cool to like have the forefront knowledge to kind of have some like good guesses about what could happen and then like letting life happen and then reflecting on it. So, anyways, look at what Leo placements you can have. I for one am very excited. This is like the transit of the year for me, personally. And so, yeah, I am excited. Who's excited? Me. Okay, this is the thing I was going to talk about with the US. So, okay, like we know things are kind of crazy right now. Okay, we just know that. We can like literally look around our own world and like kind of see that happening like in the news, whatever. We're not going to get into details cuz you can do that on your own time. But we have a Mars Uranus conjunction happening on July 3rd and 4th. So, you know how I said like Mars is like passion and like fiery and like action and like you want to like get things moving? Well, Uranus is like the party prince of unexpected shifts and like I don't want to say chaos, but just like it's just unexpected. Like you can't but it's unexpected, but there's innovation. So it's like there's going to be a lot of passion and energy around innovation and because this is like our 250th anniversary, of being a country, I'm in the US right now. Unfortunately, just kidding. Not really kidding. I'm being honest. It's sad what's going on. It's super sad what's going on. There's a lot going on in the world. We're shifting a lot right now as a collective, as a whole organism. That's what's coming up for me. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but as these go on, I get more channely and I just start getting pictures or words that come up. So if any of those resonate with you, do let me know. But typically, I find that if there's like a word that won't leave me, I have to say it. And organism came up. We're all the same thing. I hope you guys know that. Okay, so on July 9th, we have Venus going into Virgo. Okay, so if you haven't been like taking care of yourself all that well in the like eating well department or the moving well department or like having kind of not like a routine to be productive, but if you don't have like your rituals on lock, I feel like this is a transit that will help you get there. So we are going to have, I don't know how long this is actually going to go, but yeah, we're gonna have, I think, like at least 4 weeks with Venus there. So yeah, from like July 9th to like right before school starts, I feel like naturally a lot of people are like school shopping or kind of, I'm a mom, so like maybe this is just me, but like you're kind of preparing for the school year. And like it's crazy to even say those words. Why did I say that? It's like June. But it's just the case. And so yeah, I'm excited for that transit. I do have my natal Chiron in Virgo, so that's a little tough. But because it's Venus, like Venus kind of brings the good vibes everywhere. She's she is like the thing that smooths things over, and she's the one that brings pleasure. And so look to where Virgo is in your chart, and like for me, that's my fourth house. And so that's also kind of Cancer theme because Cancer rules the fourth house. But if you can kind of like invite pleasure into your rituals and like how you nourish yourself, like you don't need to be the compulsive side of Virgo where you're like hyper focused and are like beating yourself up and being critical. Like invite in the maiden archetype of Virgo and like imagine the temple workers. This is coming in. Okay. So like imagine like the temple workers who worked at like, and even to this day, I'm sure people still do this, but like who work at these sacred sites and just care for them so lovingly out of devotion. Like they, even in a yoga ashram, you're supposed to like, scrub the floors like Liz Gilbert, right? She's just washing the floors again and again. And she's like so annoyed. But if you like allow yourself to like get lost in the magic of the mundane, that is the secret sauce to Virgo. So that is my like little wish for you for Venus going through Virgo, is just to take care of yourself really lovingly as if your body was a temple. Okay. Whatever kind of temple you want. You can have graffiti in your temple, right? Like it doesn't matter what your temple looks like, but take care of the temple that how you need to take care of it. Moving on. July 14th, Venus in Virgo will square Uranus and Gemini. Also, we're going to have a new moon in Cancer at the 22nd degree. So, first off, Venus squaring Uranus and Gemini. I feel like the main thing that I've resonated with when studying this type of transit is like Uranus likes to be free, right? Uranus is the rebel just to make sure that everyone is free. And so with Venus, you might be just like so in your routine and like so caring for your health that you might want to take a break from either not take a break from the relationships in your life, but like you might need some space as that innovation and change takes place. And so I also will say to this, I'm excited for this transit personally, just because it will be like a square between my fourth house and first house. And I have been doing a lot of work on my own home. And just like with other things coming down the pipeline, like I'm just like very curious to see how this transit plays out within my own family unit. But then we also have a new moon in Cancer season happening at the 22nd degree. So in the example I'll go over in a few minutes, the girl whose chart it is, she has like a crap ton of Capricorn and she's a Cancer. So it's like perfect example. But she has planets that will be affected by this new moon. And like, I'll be sure to point those out. If you guys don't know, like new moons are like a time of kind of being inward. And I feel like with it being a Cancer new moon, you'll like want to stay in. Like some people love doing like new moon circles, full moon circles. Cool. You do you, boo. But like for me, I will be like respectfully in my shell bed. By the way, I have like a beautiful mermaid shell bed. But yeah, and because it's like the 22nd degree and because like Cancer is ruling my second house, I feel like, and I've been feeling this way for a long time, but there's just like a lot of things in my line of work that I like, but I don't love. And so I'm really excited personally to use this time as a Gemini rising to examine like, okay, what am I calling in for worth now with my career? 22nd degree relates to the 10th house. So that's where I got that. But it's also kind of a Capricorn thing. So it's like, it's very much like a Capricorn, like daddy, daddy. I just keep hearing daddy. It's very much like Capricorn daddy vibe and then like Cancer mommy vibe. So it's like, get your shit on lock and like have your strong foundation and like know that you have to build it. But then also with Cancer, it's like, you've got to be nourishing yourself. Like you can't forget you have a body. Like you can't forget that you need to be nourished by yourself, by the people in your life, by your environment. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe for Cancer new moon. My guides are funny, by the way. My guides are really funny. They make me laugh all the time. Daddy, daddy, daddy. So funny. Okay, so with that new moon and with that Venus square Uranus in Gemini, we also have a Mercury Sun cazimi happening the day before on the 13th, so on July 13th. So I feel like end of June is a lot, and then like mid July, like we might have something crazy happen in general, just like energy wise on like the 4th. And I think people will already be feeling that, not even like aware of the astrology. But then a Mercury Sun cazimi is like a supercharged, like Dragon Ball Z, like you're charging up the power to then like blast it. So it's kind of like a Mercury new moon as well. And so once again, it's just like another emphasis on Cancer. Like the Cancer ruled house for you is going to be undergoing a lot during Cancer season, not just because the sun's there, but because Jupiter's moving out and because of this Mercury Sun cazimi. So things that you can do from an astrologer friend to maximize the potential of this energy is write, speak. Like you can, I'm trying to see if there's like any example that's coming up. The only things that I would say are like like write a letter to yourself, like what you want to look like a year from now or whatever, or like the next Cancer new moon, or like I don't know. I just feel like writing it out. Another thing that came up was like talking to a really trusted person. Honestly, talk to Mother Earth. She's like the original mother. She's the mother to all the mothers and children that live here. So even if you don't have someone like that feels super nourishing to talk to, go outside and talk to a fucking tree. They're gonna listen. Or she or he will listen. I don't know the gender of the tree. But yeah, I definitely think like a lot of writing could be really helpful around this time. I'm biased because I'm a writer, but it's worked well for me. Okay, so last little thing I want to talk about before I get into the chart example, because I'm getting bored of myself talking, is July 20th. We have this like really cool, like 4 parts all tying in together at the 4th degree. So Jupiter in Leo opposes Pluto in Aquarius, trine Neptune in Aries, and sextile Uranus in Gemini, all at the 4th degree. So if Cancer season wasn't enough, the 4th degree relates to Cancer. So like you're really going to be looking around and being like, what actually nourishes me? Like, have I just been eating junk food in that area of my life? Like, what am I doing? And so if you have that moment, that's okay. Like that's, I read somewhere too, it's kind of like sometimes like lunations, that means like full or new moon, can feel a little difficult, but that's good. That's a really good thing because that's showing you incongruence with who you are and who your soul wants to be. So if it feels difficult, this is just a reminder. I feel like this is important to say. Like if it feels difficult, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. That means growth is right there. And so knowing that there's that growth edge there, you can grow a lot more. But anyways, this is really interesting because Jupiter is going to oppose Pluto, which Pluto is the planet of destruction, rebirth, transformation, healing, power, like relational dynamics sometimes as well. And Jupiter in Leo is saying like, hey, look at me, like my inner child's like free to express, like la 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 la, like play. Like I'm so excited to see like what art people create during Jupiter in Leo. Like that's what I'm excited for. But opposing Pluto, it'll be kind of like this like kind of tense power thing. Like what are we willing to like express within bounds a little bit? But then it's trining Neptune. So a trine to Neptune, a trine is like a blue line if you look at my charts that I use. And that's like a really good energy. Neptune is like dreamy. And so I feel like with Jupiter trining Neptune, like dream big, dream really big. Like why would you limit yourself? So if you can get over that tension that's caused with the Pluto opposition and like allow yourself to dream big, that could be cool. It's also sextile Uranus and Gemini. It's like dream big. You don't know what will happen, you know, like call it in. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to look at this baddie right here. Cool, cool, cool. Cancer season, babe. Cool. So you know who you are, cutie. we're just going to get right into a chart reading. So if you didn't know, I have a private broadcast channel where I get to be my full witchy self because sometimes the internet's crazy and I just don't like living there most of the time. So on my private broadcast channel, I talk all about the latest astrology, wild psychic stuff that happens to me, just kind of crazy stories. And kind of like taboo stuff that I just don't feel like opening up completely on the internet yet. So if you're interested in that, I might have a link somewhere. It's definitely on my Instagram. So yeah, but okay, so her birthday is like towards the end of Cancer season. You'll see here. Let's just zoom in. Hello, I need both fingers. Hello, hello. Okay, so green sun. This is the beginning of Cancer season. Cancer season just started. You see that? Cool. So her birthday, that's like her birthday, okay? So you can see that Jupiter's right over her sun right now, which is fantastic. She does a lot of like, so sun can kind of mean like career stuff. So this is a really good transit for her career. Like she could be getting recognized for her career. The Mercury retrograde that's going to happen. Let me zoom out a little bit. So, okay. So orienting us to her chart, she's an Aries rising. If you are also an Aries rising, you might resonate with this a little bit. I'm definitely going off for placements though. So like this is definitely for my homegirl, but you can learn a lot by watching chart readings. That's literally how that's literally how, goodbye. Oh no, you guys. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, E-Trade, screw you, pal. Okay. Anyways, the ads are really annoying on here. My bad. But yeah, so, okay. So this person has been, ads. This person has been examining their relationship with their mom a lot. And I know that they have plans to travel to see their mom. And because like the sun is in the 4th house and because the sun is at a literal Cancer degree, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So this is like very much going to be like a time of like finding what home means for her. Sorry, these ads suck. There we go. Yeah, so it'll be about like a lot about like mothering herself, finding that home that feels really good for her. But I kind of want to look at the Capricorn section. So she's going to have that Capricorn full moon happening at degree 8. And that is like sitting right over her MC. So MC is an angle in the chart. My Zoom isn't working. This is so annoying. Okay. Hello. Okay, there we go. So the full moon is going to be happening at degree 8. It's going to be happening right here with her MC, and it's also hanging out by her Uranus. So there could be like honestly some career shifts for her, or like public visibility. It could be a big thing. Capricorn is like a long-term kind of placement. Like it takes a little bit to develop, and so maybe she's seeing like either things that have developed or maybe like there's things that are kind of falling away that don't feel completely resonant for her. So that'll be exciting. And then speaking of Mars and Gemini, she is going to be probably feeling quite social, quite social, because the 3rd house is ruled naturally by Gemini, and Gemini is all about socializing and friends and talking and just connecting the dots in all the ways. She definitely could be wanting to go out and explore her city more, just like getting local. So that'll be kind of like how the 3rd house responds to that Mars going through. You could also look at like in a deeper astrology reading, like I would probably also look to like the ruler of Gemini and see like what's going on there and like what else could be lighting up. Maybe like dating could be lighting up for her. I know this is like a big theme for her right now. So yeah, like getting out there and maybe you meet someone to date. Who knows, girl? Who knows? Keep me updated. But then let's see what else we have going on. Okay, let's talk about the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So, like, maybe she's also reworking things. Like, I know she's reworking her relationship with her mother. And so, like, she could just be thinking about that at this time. Let's see what else. Kind of maybe even thinking like where she wants to live. I know it's funny because like I talked to her about these things like on a personal level, and I know these are things she's already thinking of, and it's just cool to like see that mirrored in her chart. So that's really cool. But then we're also going to look to where Leo is. And so this is a girl who has asked for some like astrological like love readings, if you will, like when she could find someone. And I feel like with a natal Jupiter in Leo, she's going to go through her Jupiter return, which is like so amazing. And then Jupiter's also going to go into her fifth house. So like I really feel for her like this will be full of like luck and blessings. Jupiter brings a lot of luck, blessings, expansion, like learning. Like maybe she's gonna be like learning to express herself more, and like that pulls someone in her realm. So that's exciting. And then we're also gonna look at her sixth house because this is Virgo, you guys. And Venus is gonna be making its way into Virgo. And so when that happens, she has her natal Venus there. She's such a baddie, you guys. She definitely uses these to her advantage a lot. She definitely works within the health realm, so that's cool. And so with Venus going there, it's probably going to like only positively really impact like her care for self, her routine, because if you're an Aries rising, you're just lucky like that because all of your signs are just like in their natural rulership. So Virgo is naturally here, and it rules the sixth house, and that Venus is just gonna be loving being there, honestly. She'll go through like a Venus return too, which is like honestly really cool. Like Jupiter return and Venus return, so cool. Very powerful. Let's see. Let's see. Then let's kind of go through the example of like that crazy wild conjunction I told you guys about. So let me show you how I edit this. So I'm going to go to July 20th. This is like how I do readings. Okay, so I'm going to go to July 20th because that's when the transits of Jupiter in Leo opposes Pluto and Aquarius, trine Neptune and Aries, sextile Uranus, all at the 4th degree. So to show you the visual of that, without getting inundated by cotton on ads, I already have enough clothes for my child. Thank you. Oh, go away. Go away. There you go. Go all the way away. There you go. Cool. So, so you see Pluto here. That is opposing Jupiter here. This is the 4th degree Jupiter, 4th degree Pluto. This is retrograde till I think October. And then here is Uranus. So there's a little sextile happening between Uranus and Jupiter. And then we also have Neptune and Aries. So that's creating a really cool trine between, let's see, the fire signs, Neptune and Jupiter. So for her, this is going to be affecting like her first house, like her body, like how people see her, her personal brand, if you will. And then this is going to be like how she expresses herself. This could be, you know, maybe she's expressing her emotions more, or, you know, I'm not sure exactly how that would translate for her, but yeah, it has to do with 4th house as well for her. So like maybe like expressing stuff with her mom, like I don't know. And then with that opposition to Pluto, like in the 11th house, this is all about like community and like social media. So like maybe she's even like going to express like emotions, like, and people are going to see her or not know how, like maybe they're going to see her in a different way because she's expressing to social media or like greater friend groups or community with that Pluto there. So that's just one example of how that whole thing will end out for her. But anyways, that was 35 minutes of me talking. God bless you if you've stuck around. And once again, I am Rosie, and I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy that you're learning about astrology. And I just feel like it's a language that you have to learn over time. So if a lot of things that I shared like went over your head, like please just drop me a question because um, I'm pretty good at explaining things in depth if you can't tell. But yeah, I'm also doing some other things on the side. I'll like put the link for like my bio site if you can like if you want to see what I'm up to. But otherwise, I do these forecasts every month, just injecting them with my little personal spiels and philosophies and channeled insights. But I think the overall feeling I get for this season is like learn how to nurture yourself and make sure that you're creating the strong foundation on which to hold it all. So, with that, much love. See you soon. Bye bye.